Picture this. You wake up and it's your birthday. You have just turned 7 years old and you're excited. You run downstairs and absolutely beg your mom to take you to GameStop so you can get a brand new game. She agrees and you come home with a copy of your favorite RPG game. You start it up and you are met with the select difficulty screen. Your cursor hovers over easy mode. Should I play this game on easy? I think it would be more fun that way. And before you can even decide, your brother, sister, or friend decides to blurt out, "Easy mode is for babies. Are you a baby?" And your 7-year-old self looks them in the eye with something to prove and says, "I am not a baby." You immediately put the game on normal mode. How bad can it be for you? I mean, it's obviously the way the game was intended to be played. Well, fast forward to days later, and you come across a boss that you can't beat at your current level. You know that in order to progress, you need to spend hours grinding levels and items and equipments, but you don't want to do all that. You hate grinding. So you try to fight the boss a couple more times, fail at it, and put the game down. And you never really come back to it. Now you will never know how the story ended because you let others convince you to play it on normal mode. Now, this story might sound similar to yours, or it might not. Some of you are probably really sympathizing with me, while others are probably just yelling at the screen, "That's a skill issue!" But regardless, I feel like most of us have had some sort of experience when we were either made fun of for playing a game a certain way, or we made fun of someone for playing a game their way. In this video, I want to talk about easy mode and why it is a valid choice for people who enjoy it. I also want to encourage people who have been thinking about playing a game on easy mode to just try it out once and see how you like it. Now, I will admit that there are some negatives to playing a game on easy mode, as not all games are created equal. And we will be talking about those as well. Hi, my name is Cyannica, and I am a kindergarten teacher who enjoys talking about video games and the crazy things that happen in my classroom. Alright, let's get started. Everyone buys games for different reasons. Some people want a challenge that pushes their skill to the limits, and others just want to relax after a long day. Some people care about mastering combat, while others just want to see what happens next in the story. None of these reasons are wrong. Everyone is completely valid in how they choose to play their game. So let's talk about why so many people choose to play games on easy mode and why that choice deserves a little more respect than what it usually gets. Reason number 1. Not everyone enjoys grinding. Grinding in a game can be very long, drawn out, and a boring task. A lot of times it involves fighting the same enemies over and over and over again. This could either be because you simply need more XP, or because you are hoping that the enemies will drop a very specific item that you need to craft something. The grind isn't as bad in the early stages of a game. When you are at a lower level, it only takes fighting a few enemies to get your level up, and the item drop rate is a lot higher for simpler materials you need for early game weapons. So it might only take a few minutes, but as the game progresses and you become a higher level, suddenly it can take 30 minutes to an hour of fighting enemies just for you to level up one time. And as the items you want to craft become stronger and more complex, you can end up spending multiple hours just crafting one item. This is because, depending on the game might start to ask you for dozens of items that have a very low drop rate. You could fight 50 enemies and get absolutely none of the items you need when you need 20 of them because the drop rate is only 1% and you're very unlucky. Now, this one thing that you're trying to craft is probably going to take you multiple days to get it, and not everyone has that kind of time or patience. On easy mode, you can oftentimes skip the intense grind. While grinding is still an option, it is usually deemed pretty unnecessary due to how much stronger your team is in comparison to the enemy, since easy mode usually buffs your guys while lowering the stats of the enemies. And when you do choose to grind, it will not take nearly as long, simply because of how much quicker you can defeat enemies than you could on normal or hard mode. This could save you a lot of frustration, which brings me to my next point. Reason number 2. Time is our most valuable resource. Some people are hardcore gamers. They enjoy spending hours at a time improving their character stats so that they can do tons of damage to enemies. This is really fun for some people, and therefore, they feel as if all the time they have spent in the game is worth it, and that's okay. But not everyone feels the same about it. When we were kids, many of us will pull all-nighters in our rooms just playing our favorite games because we had nothing else better to do. Our lives were simpler then. We would go to school, do whatever homework or chores our family asked us to do, and then we were free to play whatever we wanted to our heart's content. We had tons of free time, but as we got older, we became swamped with more and more responsibilities. For me, it started in high school. I began taking very advanced classes that had me drowning in homework and constantly studying just so I could maintain a passing grade. For others, it may have ramped up during a different part of your life. But now, as an adult, the amount of responsibilities I have is a lot. I have a job, so I spend 8 hours or more each weekday at work. I have a home, so I need to constantly clean and maintain it. I have a car, so I have to put gas in it and use it to get groceries and other necessities for the house. I have a husband, so he will sometimes need me to do things for him. I have an elderly dog, so I have to take care of her and make sure she's okay. Some of you guys have children and you have to take care of them as well. For a busy adult like me, I don't have the time anymore to spend on playing video games for hours. I have to take care of my responsibilities, and I also simply have other hobbies I wish to spend time on as well. Yes, I like gaming, but I also like VTubing, reading, learning a new language, and singing. This is why I and many others prefer easy mode. Easy mode makes it quick and easy to progress in a game. I can get through a decent amount of gameplay in a short time span, making each short play session feel a lot more productive than if I was in any other mode. Also, because easy mode can make a game a lot simpler to play through, I can relax my brain as I am playing it. Sometimes when you come home from a long and tiring day of work, you just want to relax. And if I'm playing a game that requires a lot of time, thinking, and grinding, then chances are I'm not relaxing while playing it. But if you lower the difficulty to easy, almost any game can become a relaxing experience. You can progress through the story with little to no in-game roadblocks standing in your way. Which brings me to my next reason. Reason number 3, we like our stories. Some people, including myself, mostly play games for the engaging stories they often tell. I love it when characters in a party interact in a genuine and fun way, making you as the player care a lot about them. I love it when there is a lot of world building and when you really feel like you're a part of this fictional world. I love it when there is a crazy overarching story filled with plot twists and bumpy roads that you just can't look away from. But sometimes I don't care as much about the gameplay. Don't get me wrong, I do enjoy the actual gameplay aspects of video games. It's why I choose to play them instead of watching the full cutscene compilation videos on YouTube. But sometimes, a game will present you with a really enticing and intense story premise where you really want to see what's going to happen next, only to have you spend ages fighting monsters, upgrading gear, and losing to the same boss over and over again before you can even make it to the next cutscene. Playing a game on easy mode allows you to enjoy the gameplay while getting to the next story beat a lot quicker than you would on normal or hard mode. Which brings me to my final reason. Reason number 4. Not every gamer is a skilled gamer. I'm sure there are quite a few of you shaking your head and yelling at the screen, "This all just sounds like a skill issue," and "You just sound like you're not very good at the game." And yeah, that's probably true, but that's also another reason as to why easy mode exists. The best gamers out there might not have to spend hours grinding in a video game. Their strategies and gameplay are so airtight that they can defeat any enemy the game throws at them with ease, regardless of the playable mode. There are some games I played on normal mode that I thought were extremely easy to get through, just for me to open Reddit and find out that I was just playing terribly. So yes, I am probably terrible at a lot of games that other people find to be very easy. And that is okay. We all have our different skill levels when it comes to literally everything in life. For example, I'm bad at a lot of games, but I think I'm pretty good at writing. Or I'm bad at playing the cello, but I think I'm a pretty good streamer. It is okay to be good or bad at certain things, gaming included. We each have our own strengths and weaknesses, which is part of what makes us human. So it's okay if you struggle with the game and you need to put it on easy mode just to make it to the end. Just like it's okay if you are extremely skilled and like to play games on the absolute highest difficulty. Now that we have talked about plenty of reasons why someone would play a game on easy mode, let's talk about the downside of playing games like this, as there are a small amount. The first downside is that sometimes the games are too easy. Not all easy modes are created equal. Some games on easy mode buffs your party up so high that you are pretty much one-shotting every enemy, and enemies can pretty much do no damage to you. In these type of games, you are practically immortal. And while I do enjoy playing a game on easy mode for the reasons I talked about in this video, there are moments where the game is too easy and I find myself yawning and kind of bored. If I am immortal going into every fight, then I will often start to ask myself, what's the point in fighting? As a result, I might even find myself actively avoiding any enemies that crosses my path because I already know the outcome of the battle. Now, not all easy modes games are like this. Games like Baldur's Gate 3 will still have enemies doing a decent amount of damage to you, so you still need to use your brain at times to avoid party members dying, but it is still 10 times easier to get rid of enemies. In Tales of Arise, I will admit that there are some bosses that still kicked my butt, and I had to replay them a few times even on easy mode. These are the type of easy mode games I tend to enjoy more, but that is subjective, and if you enjoy the games where you are immortal in easy mode, then that's okay too. The only other negative downside I experience when playing games on easy mode is that sometimes you do lose that sense of accomplishment that comes with beating a really hard boss. When you are absolutely breezing through a game on easy mode, one-shotting enemies and fighting with little to no strategy, there's not much you can really accomplish here. I didn't have to work hard or map out my every move to beat a boss. I just went in, pressed some buttons, and I won. The sense of accomplishment, while it's still there because I did beat the boss, is very small, and sometimes I do find myself missing the celebrations I'd have after finally beating the boss that I spent hours prepping for. But after hearing all of this, what do you think? Should you play games on easy mode? Well, at the end of the day, that is all up to you. You should play games whichever way lets you have the most fun. If you love spending dozens of hours mastering every mechanic, learning every boss pattern, and grinding for the best gear, play the game on normal or hard mode. But if you're someone like me who just wants to unwind after work, experience an incredible story, and spend time with the characters you love, then play the game on easy mode. At the end of the day, video games are just entertainment. That means that they were made for us to have fun, not to make us feel like we have to prove something to someone else. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing for more yapping with Cyan. I go live on both YouTube and Twitch 2 to 3 times a week, so be on the lookout for that if you're interested. Sayonara, and I hope you have a good day!